Hey, rockers! I am going to wait until I see the first person type something to let me know that you guys can hear and see me. Reverend Derek Moody, aka Bloody Mess, here with you on a Friday night in Ashland, Oregon, sporting this cool Runaways t-shirt, man. I'm going to wait and see who pops in the room here. And once we get some people in, and maybe the next 5-10 minutes, we'll get started. I have got a bunch of pop culture items and cool autographed items to share with you guys. Something fun to do on a Friday night, right? For a little bit. So yeah, anyone that wants to let me know that you're in the room, that'd be great. I'm looking for the to see if I can see my chats right now. I can't. Whoa, I'm live again. Is somebody up? Hey, what up? My buddy Gary's in the house from Arizona. All right, man. Thanks for being here, bro. Thank you so much. I appreciate you very much. Hey, Cassie's in the house from Mackinac, Illinois. Also, AMZ. What up? Cheryl Warner. I love you too, Cheryl. Please give this a thumbs up. If you guys are watching, give the video a thumbs up. Wow, 10 thumbs ups? No, 0 thumbs ups right now. I'm going to wait a few minutes before I get started, guys, so people can join us. Stan and Carrie Bowman are tuned in from Springfield, Missouri. How's it going, Stan and Mrs. Carrie? Great to have you guys here. Thank you. Friday night, rock and roll time. Kelly is in the house. What's up, Kelly? Yay. Guar fan from Oshawa, Ontario, Canada. What is up, my brother? Gary, thanks for being here. I'm glad you wouldn't miss it. I'm going to kick back and just wait for a few minutes, and then I've got some cool pop culture items to show you guys. I got stacks of stuff sitting around me, man. I'm like, what do I even show these guys? But I'm looking around thinking I'm good. I have enough stuff to show you. I'm thinking maybe 90 minutes tonight. Karen is in town, not in town, but online with us from Rhode Island with her dog, Alexis. Hello, Karen. Buzzing frets. Hi, Bloody. I use your 444 technique to relax. Thank you. 4-part breathing. That's a good idea. I'm going to do that right now. It's 4 seconds inhale. 4 seconds holding. 4 seconds exhale. That is what you do to calm yourself down. Notice the noticeable difference in my energy after one breath. Thank you for using that technique. It's something that I was taught long ago, and it does work, especially if you do it more than just once in a row. Jason's in the house. Howdy, bro. Smoke them if you got them. Jay from Cleveland. What's up, Jay? Yeah, man, I would be smoking if I have them, and I do, but I don't think I should do that on camera anymore. I did that on my first live, and then I realized not everybody's in that culture that we're into, you know, and I don't know, feel like it freaks people out. I mean, what's really in that pipe? Anyway, I'm just kind of kidding. Yeah, I do indulge. It's 420 for sure. You're free to indulge on this channel. We've got 18 people in the house at 3 minutes in, guys. I'm going to give it a few more minutes if you guys are cool with that. And then I'm going to show you some autographed and collectible items. And I'll have some stories associated with them. And then at the very end, if you guys want to do a questions and answers or not, that's cool. I'm thinking maybe 90 minutes tonight. Josh Morris, have you ever been to India? No, I have not. But I've studied hundreds of YouTube videos where they are there. And there are definitely parts that I would like to check out. I love India. Never been there. I love the food, love the culture, love the mysticism, love a lot of things about India. Robbie's in the house. He finally made it to a live. Happy Saturday to you, Robbie. Thanks, bro. 21 people in the house. What do you guys think? Maybe another minute or two and then I'll start. And then whoever wants to watch the archived live version of this later, it'll be on my live section on the channel. Yeah, Karen, I should feel free to relax and smoke, but that's just, it's a nice concept. But, you know, a lot of people are really touchy about that. I even put up a YouTube video recently, and I lost 10 subscribers so quick because somebody got offended over something silly. And I realized right away, I got to keep it to where everyone's happy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to do stuff like that on camera, really. Guar fan, this is my first live of yours. Going to do some hot knives. You always got some great stories. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. So we've got 20 people in the house at 5 minutes after. There's Robin. Hey, Bloody. Nice seeing you in here, my friend. Is that Robin Clark? Is that Robin Clark from over in Medford or Central Point, Oregon? I'm not sure. Yeah, I know you're living in that area. Is that Robin Clark? Tell me yes or no, Robin. And by the way, thanks for being here, Robin, if that's you. Yep, it is. Hey, Robin. Robin just texted me a minute ago, and I said, hey, I'm doing a live tonight. And she said, I didn't even know you did a YouTube channel. So see, not everyone is seeing everything we see in real time, and it's really, really good to have you here, Robin. I saw Robin at the Oddities and Curiosities Expo here in Ashland recently. That was trippy. That was a cool place. Gary in Arizona says, have I ever thought about going live during your radio show? Yeah, but radio's a lot more fun on the other side. It kind of takes away a lot of the mystery, and it's kind of boring on the other side. So I might go live sometime, but I've done it before, and it just is kind of anticlimactic sort of feeling for me. I'd rather keep radio as like a theater of the mind kind of thing. Not really anything exciting going on. What's up? As we go along with Angel. Angel's in the house. He interviewed me on his podcast, and it's out there right now. His channel is called As We Go Along with Angel. I highly urge you guys to subscribe to his channel. Help out a brother. As We Go Along with Angel on YouTube. He interviewed me. It's like an hour and 10 minutes. Great chat. Great guy. He wants to do a part 2, by the way. And I said, yeah. Okay, I'm going to get started, you guys. Karen, I'm not really going to answer questions right now as far as like that stuff. I want to get into the showing these cool items I have, and then afterwards I'd be happy to address any questions for sure. No disrespect intended, of course. Guar guy says, that sounds great. The Oddities Expo. Yeah, it was really cool. They had all kinds of neat stuff, a lot of gothic stuff. Let's get started, guys. I've got 25 people. That's plenty. Some of the things I want to show you are from my personal collection. Most of my collection burned in the 2020 Alameda fires here in Southern Oregon and California. And I was getting ready to open up a pop culture museum in the basement of a friend's shop here in Ashland. So it's definitely a real source of contention, but I'm over it. But I have built up quite a great collection thanks to my friends, family, and myself for trying to collect some cool pop culture items since those fires happened in 2020. First thing I want to show you guys, Chuck Berry, his autobiography, and it's actually autographed by the legend himself right inside the front cover, and it's been verified through James Spence authorization. This is something that I really, really dig. Chuck Berry, one of the godfathers of rock and roll. This is a real treasure. Rest in peace, Chuck Berry. I've got this book here. It's the autobiography of the one and only guitar player for the Doors, Robbie Krieger. It's signed in the front cover as well. And I want to tell you guys tonight, if you don't know, I actually have an eBay store. And I sell a lot of items, including some of the stuff you're seeing tonight, because a rocker's got to make a living. So if you want to support me or you want to check out cool stuff for sale, my eBay store is called Fanatic Pop Culture on eBay. And you can always connect me with me at the email down below in the description area. After I put this video out, I will update it with my email. And if you're interested in these items, feel free to hit me up, guys. And I'm always hustling and bustling. So I'm going to take questions at the end of the video. Right now, we're just showing autographed items and cool stuff. This is a book by John Waters, the filmmaker, called Shock Value. It's a great book, and it's a tasteful book about bad taste. Really cool. The pink flamingo reminds me of my friend Bob up in upstate New York. Shout out to Robert Waldner. Love you, bro. But this is an interesting autograph from John Waters to me. See you in hell. John Waters. Yeah, that was interesting. We had a nice chat when I met John. Let's leave it at that. Met him a couple times. Thank you, Karen, and thank you for Angel. Show and tell. That's what this is. It's show and tell. Why didn't I think of that? That's what we're doing today. And I'm going to title this video, Show and Tell with Bloody Mess. This is not autographed, but this is a cool collectible from the mid 70s. It's a Bay City Rollers tour program. This is one of the items up for sale on my eBay channel, Fanatic Pop Culture, but it's pretty cool. It's an actual Japanese Bay City Rollers. I should show you guys, right? The tour schedule, and it's a tour program. Very cool indeed. Next on the list, this is one of my very favorite collectibles in my collection. This is the book by the great Nina Antonia about Johnny Thunders, the legendary guitarist of the New York Dolls and the Heartbreakers and solo, of course. This is a book that Johnny autographed not just once, but twice. Again, most of my items are certified authentic, as this one is. As you can see, Johnny signed it to a friend of his that owned this book. This was in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and whoever owned the book, they got drunk along the way, and whoever else didn't realize Johnny had already signed the front cover, they had them autograph it to them in the back cover. So this is autographed twice by Johnny Thunders. Isn't that awesome? And the date's on there too. September 5th, 1989 at the Odd Rock Cafe, Milwaukee. This is a big time collectible. Sadly to say, yep, I'm selling it to the right person on eBay. Gotta do what you gotta do. Here's an obscure one for you punk rock collectors. This is a band called The Mentally Ill. They put out this really weird little record back in the late 70s called Gacy's Place, and it's got an autograph by the singer of The Mentally Ill, Sado Marquis. Sado Marquis. That's a really obscure one, guys. Another obscure punk rock record from the one and only Beautiful Bert. Yeah, this was back in the days when Beautiful Bert had a band called The Luscious Ones. Shout out to Robert Bob Piccolo in Minneapolis, who's probably watching. This is also autographed by Beautiful Bert as well, and I'm pretty proud of that. Bert was a good friend of mine, and I had a lot of autographed stuff by him, and I lost it all in those dreaded fires. But thank goodness that I've got this in my collection. This is something I showed on Facebook recently. The Wanderers. Stiv Bators from the Dead Boys fronted this great band for a short time. Dave Parsons, of course, and Dave Tragana. These guys are legends. Both these guys are in the band Sham 69. Dave Tragana was in Lords of the New Church. These guys rule. The Wanderers. This is autographed by Dave and Dave. And yeah, good stuff, man. Speaking of Stiv Bators, I might as well go ahead and break it out and show you guys something I'm really, really proud of. And this is definitely a rare record. Not only a rare record, but a very rare record to have in one's collection. And I'm proud to have it because I lost my original 7-inch record that I had from Sire Records that came out in the late 70s called, I think it was called New Wave. And it was a 7-inch that had Blondie, the Talking Heads, another band, and the Dead Boys. And it was autographed by all the members of the Dead Boys, including Stiv Bators, but it burned in the fires. But I got this little gem, guys. Lords of the New Church, record called Real Bad Time, Things Go Bump. It's the Psycho Sex 12-inch is what it is. And it's autographed on the back cover by our man, Stiv Bators. Kind of hard to see with that plastic, but there you go. Yeah, Stiv Bators, he wrote a real psycho sex case to whoever he was signing it to, Stiv Bators. Yeah, I love Lords of the New Church, and I can't say enough stuff about Stiv Bators. Here's a cool one, man. Wendy O. Williams, solo, not solo, but a live album, and it's autographed by guitar player Wes Beach, who's a good friend of mine, and he also was one of the, I think, the only guy that ever played on every Plasmatics except maybe one? Every record except maybe one, including all of Wendy's solo material, Wes had something to do with. This is something that I really love, and it's on cherry red vinyl. Keep her going. Let's keep her going. It's Show and Tell with Bloody Mess, and I will be answering questions if you guys have some for me in all humbleness at the end of this video, okay, guys? So right now I'm not really looking at the screen. I'll go back later. Someone says they see Tesco VEP up on the eBay store. Yep. Stiv rules. What a talent. Sadly gone too soon. Well, I think we go when our karma is up here. But yeah, it's sad that we don't have new music and stuff from him. Vishnu. That's actually a picture of Shiva. Yeah, that's Shiva on my wall. But either way, glad you like it, man. My mind's going in a million directions, so it's hard to think. Here's Richie Ramone's solo record that's incredibly good called Live to Tell. I highly recommend this record. Richie's a legend, and he autographed this to me. Too Bloody and Tracy, Richie Ramone. What a guy. Yeah, I've gotten to open up for Richie a couple times. Gotten to work in the studio with him. He's a true gent and a true rocker and a true friend for sure. This is another Plasmatics record. The first one, Meet the Plasmatics. Check it out, man. This is signed by the great Wes Beach. And I do apologize to Wes if I got my history incorrect at all, but my mind's going in a million directions. This record's really cool, though, man. Really cool. Another Plasmatics one, the first album, of course, signed by the great Wes Beach somewhere. I don't even know where the heck it's signed. I don't know. Keep going. Here's the band Autopsy. This coming Sunday on my radio show, The Church of Rock, I'm interviewing guitar player of Autopsy, Danny Corrales. And this is an Autopsy record that was sent to me by the drummer and singer for Autopsy, Chris Riefert. What a great dude and a good friend. And yeah, he signed this to me. Too bloody, you rule, man. Arg! Chris Riefert. Yeah, you gotta love Autopsy, man. What a trippy band and heavy as hell. Yeah, I love that heaviness. Here's one by the Dicks, signed by the late, great Gary Floyd. Shout out to Sean Floyd, who is a subscriber to my channel and Gary's cousin. I really miss Gary. And he wrote to Buddy, because that was my old Facebook name on Facebook, was Buddy F. Mess. Now, of course, you can find me on Facebook under the name Derek Moody. Yep. And you can find me on Instagram under bloodyf.mess. Feel free to follow me there, guys. Here's another record that's autographed by one of the drummers for the Bay City Rollers. This is extremely rare. It's a Bay City Rollers single called The Whip, with the other side, When You Find Out. Of course, this was put out in 85, and this is signed by George Spencer. A lot of people think Derek Longmire was the only drummer of the Rollers, and I read an interview with him, or saw one, where he said, I am on every single release the Rollers ever did. Not true. He's not on this single. He's not on the album, the breakout album that this came from, and I don't believe, is he on the live album? Yes, he is. But I know there's at least a couple that he's not on, and that's those two records for sure. Shout out to George Spencer for being a good guy, and you can find my interview with George Spencer and a lot of the Bay City Rollers like Nobby Clark, Pat McGlynn, just a lot of people, Phil Hendricks. It goes on, and members of Rosetta Stone. You can find that at my other channel, The Church of Rock, all one word. All one word. Here's another guest I had on the Church of Rock once, Cindy Alter from the band Substitute out of South Africa, legendary 70s pop band. And of course, Cindy was kind enough to sign this for me and mail the record back to me. So that's pretty cool, man. Yeah, you gotta love Clout. That's the name of the band she was in. Clout. Substitute was the song. I'm sorry. My mind goes a million miles an hour, and I have ADHD and all that good stuff, so it's a little tricky. This is kind of special to my heart. It's an autographed 7-inch record by Jatan Damone. She was in the band Christian Death as keyboardist and one of the vocalists. Has a really awesome history of solo material. This got a little smeared when she signed it in silver ink, but it's still a treasure and pleasure to say that I got to work with Jatan Damone on this album, Divine Dirt. Yeah, this record is one of my albums that I put out in 2018. This is a record in a band I was particularly proud of. We lasted about 5 years. And this is autographed by every member of Divine Dirt, including yours truly. But yeah, all the guys, Jesse Lee, who's going to be interviewed on the Church of Rock soon, has a new band called Death by Volcano. Awesome. David Valley, bass player for Divine Dirt, he's got a band called Neon Chrome. Awesome. Andy Friend, guitarist, he's still out there doing his thing, but he's not doing rock, sadly. But I love these guys, and I love Divine Dirt. Sadly, this album is out of print, but you can hear it online for sure. This, ZZ Top Fandango, autographed to me by the one and only Billy Gibbons. Yep, I got to meet Billy a couple years back here in Southern Oregon, and he was cool enough to sign that record, which is probably one of my favorite hard rock records. Yeah, I know ZZ Top isn't hard rock, but some other stuff is on this record. Karen Lee says, all your Bay City Roller interviews are incredible. George Spencer rocks for autographing that. Love to Cindy Alter. Yep, good words. Thank you, Karen. Nirvana. This is a copy of Nevermind, autographed by Chris Novoselic, bass player of Nirvana. When I got to meet him recently up in Washington, when I saw his band play, or him play with a Nirvana Foo Fighters tribute band. Shout out to my youngest daughter, Audrey. Audrey, I'll always love you, and not just because you give me cool stuff. You know, I'm joking. This is something Audrey got me from the band Fear. Yep, Leaving and Spit Sticks, the drummer, both autographed this from Fear, and that was really awesome. Thank you, Audrey, for this. This is a flat. It's a picture of the first album cover. Here, Baba Bhagavan Das. Many of you may not be familiar with him, but in the spiritual world, he's very known, very controversial, and his music is unparalleled. There's a type of music out there called kirtan, K-I-R-T-A-N, and this guy is like the leader in that type of music in my mind. Amazing stuff. I was Baba Bhagavan Das's manager for a very little bit of time. Spent a lot of time with him here in Southern Oregon, and here's his autographed album. I got to say, I've got one of the world's biggest collections of Bhagavan Das music on CD, cassette, and vinyl, and a lot of it, 3/4 of it, Baba was kind enough to autograph for me. And here's what he looked like after that. Check this out. He went from sitting in the hills of the Himalayas looking like that, and then he went back to America, and that's what it turned him into, a freaking car salesman. But then he went back to that again, and today he's happily married, living in Wisconsin.
Relationship to Rom.
Sister Tracy's in the house. What's up, Sister Tracy?
Hey, how's it going? I was just talking about Ram Dass and the connections to how there's just a degree of separation.
Oh, yeah, there's
between...
just a degree of separation between Bhagavan Das and Ram Dass. Matter of fact, Bhagavan Das came up with the slogan, "Be Here Now." More on that later. This is an autographed record from David Peel from the Lower East Side. Oh, man, 1984 signed, and of course it's been authenticated, but it's signed right there in the corner. That is also on my eBay store, sadly, but it is. Again, authenticated by James Spence Authentication. This is a very awesome item that I procured in a trade, and I really love that. That was one of Gigi Allen's idols, is David Peel. This is a very cool item from Canada. The one and only Frank Marino from Mahogany Rush is one of my very favorite guitar players. This is a little dusty, but it's signed to the Reverend Derek Moody and Sister Tracy from, as you can see on the bottom there, Frank Marino. Yeah, I love Frank Marino. I'm a huge fan. And you can find many interviews I've done with him on the Church of Rock channel and also the Earth Heart radio channel, which is another radio show I hosted for about a year and a half. Earth Heart with one H, EARTHEART. Lots of really trippy stuff on that channel that I normally don't even really promote. Here's one, the singer for Hanoi Rocks, the great Michael Monroe. This is a really, really autograph that's close to my heart, because I'm a huge fan. And of course, on my new album, right behind me there, see it back there? Dark Days Unfazed. Yeah, this record here. It's for sale on vinyl and CD. And there's a song on that album called Michael Monroe. And it's dedicated to this man here who signed this. And this is an autograph picture that I love. Down the pile we go. Iggy Pop. Iggy Pop signed this right here. Crazy night on the Stooges' second reunion tour in Chicago. And for what it's worth right there, that's the autograph of James Williamson, the guitar player. Yep, one of the only people I lost an interview with on the show. That video is on the channel if you want to hear how I pissed off James Williamson. Didn't mean to. Got this other really rare item. It's a book. It's a record called Love, Serve, Remember. I think it's either 6 or 8 album set. I mean, this thing has a booklet inside, and it's chock full of all these records, man, that Ram Dass put out back in like 70. It's mega rare, and Bhagavan Das autographed the inside front cover of this bad boy for me. So that's of minor interest to you rock fans. I probably get it, but some of you might think it's interesting. To keep moving along, we are doing show and tell right now with me, Bloody F Mess, a 40-year punk rock and roll, outlaw country and blues musician, actor, singer, performer, and nearly 25-year radio show host and producer. 34 people in the room. Thank you guys. If you would kindly subscribe to my channel, I'd appreciate it. If you would give this video a like and hit that thumbs up button for me, that'd be cool. This is an autograph. I got to thank Bob Harrington from Ragged Records in Davenport, Iowa. Autographed on the cover of the Richard Hell and the Voidoids album by guitar player Ivan. That's right, man. Ivan signed this bad boy. Look at that autograph. I just love that dude. Why is Ivan's last name all of a sudden not on the tip of my tongue? This happens to me when I do these live things, man. All of a sudden I get nervous and my memory goes out the window. Wow, man. It really freaks me out, to be honest with you guys, if this happens to me, especially in real time where I can't fake it or anything. So, yeah. But anyway, man, I got to say that the great Ivan, man, aging kind of sucks. Here's 2 albums by the band Anvil, right? Both of these were given to me from my youngest daughter and contain autographs from the band Anvil. This has the full band. And this one here is the brand new one that she had Lips and Robbo signed on the front cover just a few weeks ago in Portland. For the record, yes, Anvil is metal. Yes, they are one of my favorite bands, for sure. Here's a book, autographed by Rob Halford. Yep, his autobiography, Confess. This thing is awesome, right? The great metal god himself autographed the inside front cover. Again, this has been certified as authentic. Troy Leach is in the house. Hey, bro, I'm so glad you still have the stuff. You know, bro, I only have a little bit of this stuff left. 99% of it's gone. And most of these items I either had in my apartment when the fires happened or I've gotten since 2020, bro. So, yeah. Somebody says, Bloody, the people want your stuff on t-shirts. You know what? You're right. I'm working on that. I'm going to make t-shirts. As long as you guys will buy them, please. You know, I'm going to be playing in March 14th in Davenport, Iowa with Super 88 as the band I'm going to be singing in front of. Those guys rule. Shout out to each and every member of Super 88. Looking forward to playing at the Raccoon Motel right by Ragged Records there in Davenport, Iowa, March 14th. We're going to be doing at least half, 3/4 of the new Dark Days Unfazed album with a handful of classics of mine and maybe a cover or two. Then we're going to be in Chicago the next night on Saturday, March 15th at Livewire, courtesy of my friend Dave Horniak in Chicago, the owner of that club. That is going to rock, my friends. And the day after that is my 59th birthday on March 16th. So this is going to be a great birthday weekend. I can't wait to play Davenport, Iowa and Chicago with the great Super 88. What else? I have other stuff here that I had planned to show you. Gonna have to rearrange a few things here if I can quit stuttering. Yeah, nervousness is a real thing in my world. Let's see here, guys. I do have a few other items that are pretty neat. This is really weird. It's a record I got from ex-Bay City roller Pat McGlynn. I actually went to Scotland 2 years ago to set up some gigs for Pat McGlynn because I was managing him for a couple of years. He gave me this record by the Cates brothers, right? The Cate brothers, who were popular in the UK. This was handwritten by Danny McGlynn, the late, great Danny McGlynn, who was the guitar player for Pat McGlynn's band. And they were a great band. Pat and I had a falling out, and I won't go into anything bad, but I want you to know that I don't even hold any grudges any longer. I could care less about holding on to hate or anger or expectations that weren't met. So to this day, I will say right now on this moment, I no longer hold a grudge. I don't have any anger anymore. I've let it go. I wrote a song called Skies Are Black that's on my new album. It was very cathartic. That album right there, Dark Days Unfazed. You can go on YouTube right now and type in Bloody Mess, Skies Are Black. Probably one of the coolest songs on the record. But for the record, for all you roller fans, because that's a kind of a dramatic world, that world, I don't hold any animosity any longer, and I don't have anything bad to say. It's all been said on both sides. Me and Pat really let each other have it for a while there. So no longer will I do that. I just don't hold on to grudges for very long. Don't be nervous. Easier said than done, bro. I've been that way my whole life. But Danny McGlynn had this in his collection, and that's handwritten, so that's kind of cool, man. Also, Rock and Roll High School. This is the soundtrack on vinyl to the Great Ramones movie featuring the Ramones. Check this out. Sister Tracy got this for me for Christmas, or my birthday maybe, many moons ago, back in the mid-2005 maybe. I don't know. But this has the autograph from Joey Ramone, Dee Dee Ramone, Marky Ramone, and Johnny Ramone. Check that out, man. There's Johnny. You know what I'm saying? Pretty cool stuff, dude. Yeah, that's one of my favorite collectibles in my collection. And this is a 12-inch version with just 3 songs on it. Rock and Roll High School, I Want You Around, and Come On Let's Go by the Paley Brothers / Ramones. Pretty cool, man. What else do I got? Joan Jett, my daughter Audrey gave this to me. It says to Audrey, but hey, look at that nice autograph from Joni and that cool picture, huh? I love Joan Jett. Nick Cave. You guys like Nick Cave? It's Show and Tell, one of Australia's finest exports, my friends. And for those of you in Australia, cheers. I have many friends in Australia. I love you guys. That's Nick Cave's signature. What a good one, huh? I love that record, man. What else we got? David Allan Coe, the long-haired redneck album, autographed by the man himself, David Allan Coe. I actually did a record once, a 7-inch record called The Country Trash Punks, and I dedicated it to David, and I sent it to him, and he sent me a letter back thanking me, telling me that he had no turntable. And for those of you that are going to get your panties in a bunch about him, you know what? back in the late 70s, he was given a large amount of money to come up with a couple of X-rated albums. And so he figured, all right, I'm going to do this kind of like a comedian would. There's nothing that's taboo. And he went to town. He pretty much ruined his career. He lost a lot of respect from people and fans, but he also had people like me that realized he's not a racist or any of that kind of stuff. He's done hundreds of interviews about this. I have met the man at least 19 times, literally, on his bus, like I know him enough to know he's not like that at all. Nope. Here's the Ramones. Check it out, man. Too Tough to Die, autographed by Richie Ramone, drummer, and a guy that wrote some great songs, man. Too Bloody, Hey Ho, Let's Go, Richie Ramone. Moving on, the Runaways. Check this out. This is kind of a neat one. Cherie Currie, the singer of the Runaways. God, when I was a young man, I had the hots for her. Didn't you? Ha! Anyway, not only did she autograph it, I could probably pull it out of the sleeve for a second, let you really see what it looks like. It's in gold Sharpie, and she drew a cherry bomb with different colored Sharpies. That is something right there that she added to the album with green, red, and gold Sharpie. That's pretty freaking cool. Shout out to Cherie, the Runaways. Woohoo! Yeah, man. Back to show and tell. 35 people watching. That's enough for me, man. Somebody says he's got the X-rated album. Yeah, that stuff's some intense stuff, but if you take it seriously, it's very, very offensive. I get it, but I don't take stuff seriously like that because I know it's, if it was serious, let me tell you this, if David Allan Coe released those nasty records and they were serious, I would hate that guy because I don't support racism, homophobia, sexism, or any of that stuff at all, but comedy's comedy, and that's the way it is, guys, right? Okay, somebody's laughing. Anyway, this is Judas Priest British Steel album, autographed by the great Rob Halford right on the front cover. Yeah, British Steel, man. What a great album. United, United. Hey, Richie Ramone also signed Animal Boy, my copy of Animal Boy by the Ramones. I have so much stuff scattered around. I just grabbed a pile of stuff to show you guys. How many blues fans are in the house? Huh? Coco Taylor, Queen of the Blues, man. Check this out. Coco Taylor signed this for me at Duff's Rooftop, Peoria Heights, Illinois, 1986. Her husband at the time was around 90 years old, and I got high with that guy. I sat around and toked up with this old blues man, and Coco Taylor was so cool. Man, was she amazing. Yeah. I love me some blues. I love me some Coco Taylor. And I got another stack of weird ones here that I found. Check this out. Raymond Pettibon, the guy that used to do all the artwork for SST Records, for all those famous punk records. He created the infamous Black Flag logo and so much more. Well, he's the brother for SST Records and Black Flag founder Greg Ginn. Check this out. Not only did he sign it to Buddy F. Mess, which I despise because that's not my name, but whatever, but he drew all kinds of stuff inside too, man. Check it out. It's really bizarre, man. Look at that. So yeah, Raymond Pettibon, what a guy, man. He signed this for me. This is something I'd probably have to let go of as well. Check the eBay store. You know, I don't like selling stuff like this because they're priceless, but in the times we're living in, man, we got to do what we got to do. For those of you from Central Illinois, there used to be a radio DJ named Gary Olson on KZ93 Radio. This was the vinyl record they put out for his birthday, and he autographed it for me. So that's kind of a cool collectible for you people in Central Illinois. KZ93. I was more of a Rock 106 guy. This, signed by the late G.G. Allen. This is live in Texas. Autographed also by legendary bass player, guitar player, musician, noise, ambient noise legend, Gene Perfect, a.k.a. Jin Steiger, which is the name I kind of knew him by first. It was Jin Steiger. And Jim Steger. And then later he became, or maybe I just didn't know, but he became Gene Perfect. And he's on social media. You can find my interview with him on my older YouTube channel. Hi, Gene. I know you like to watch the channel, and I appreciate and love you, bro. This is autographed by G.G. Allen on the front cover with, of course, Gene Perfect. And G.G. Allen signed it the second time right here. There was a sticker on the cover, and he signed that, and he signed it over here as well. I'm trying to cover up the name because there's some offensive stuff. But yeah, this is all legit. That's definitely up on the old eBay. This record signed by one of the guys from Modest Mouse. Yep, this is another eBay item. Modest Mouse, fully authenticated if you're into those guys. Alice Cooper, The very first Alice Cooper Band album was called Pretties for You. Very crazy, trippy, noisy record put out by Frank Zappa, of course, on his label at the time. This is authenticated, and Michael Bruce, the original guitar player, one of them, signed it there for me because I got to hang out with Michael Bruce. And we actually, I interviewed him for my old fanzine, and that interview can be found on my other channel, the whole unedited interview where he talks about when Alice Cooper was addicted to crack and all kinds of stuff. And I thought it was all BS until later it all checked out. Me and Michael actually talked about putting together an Alice Cooper tribute band, and we were seriously discussing calling it Alice, Bloody Alice, and it was going to be more of a punk rock take on Alice Cooper, and we actually had sort of slight plans to do that. It never happened, but I know that he did some work with the legendary band Anti-Scene, so shout out to Jeff Clayton and Anti-Scene. Michael Bruce, what a legend. This is the band Velvet Underground. How many of you are Velvet Underground fans, huh? Well, this was signed by Maureen Tucker, the drummer of the Velvet Underground, and this can be found on my eBay channel as well. Here's an autographed record by the Bay City Rollers. It's signed by lead singer and the late, great Les McEwen. Yep, he had a solo career, and he was with the Rollers when they were very popular. Of course, Nobby Clark, the original singer, quit the band, and then they exploded. And he regretted that probably for the rest of his life. By the way, Nobby Clark's book is probably one of the best of the roller books I've ever read. Very, very haunting, dark story, but it kind of turns itself around. So I got to say, even though Mr. Clark doesn't really give a damn about me, I still like the history, and his book is probably one of the best of the roller-related books, in my opinion. This is another album by the Bay City Rollers, and so is this. Two different versions of the band. Their album called Breakout. It was an Australian release. This is signed by Pat McGlynn and drummer George Spencer. This is so rare. And I got the Pat McGlynn autographs in person sitting at Pat's house in Edinburgh, Scotland. And of course, George Spencer autographed it and mailed it back to me. You can see George's autograph right there. And of course, Pat McGlynn's. Yeah, these are items I probably will let go of if somebody were to hit me up and offer me something, but I don't have them on eBay. This, another one I really dig. Rabbit, the band Rabbit out of South Africa. Of course, Duncan Fora was in the band. He signed a whole bunch of stuff for me one time. We did a little trade, and Duncan basically was the last singer for the Bay City Rollers, even when they evolved into being the Rollers. And the last 3 albums those guys ever did are awesome. Don't let anybody tell you those records suck, because they're amongst the best. Nope, I'm not comparing them to the Les McEwen days, but I'm telling you, the stuff he did with the Rollers was fantastic. Duncan Fora, shout out to Duncan. As a matter of fact, this is the Bay City Rollers' first record that Duncan Fora was with them on. It's called Elevator, and he signed all of the original albums he did with for me. This is one of the best, but they're all really good. Thank you, Duncan Fora. Pat McGlynn from the Rollers was in a punk band in Germany for a bit. This is really good, man, you guys. German punk rock, The Bodyguards. Pat plays guitar on this, no vocals, but this is something you should seek out. There's only like 1 or 2 tunes on YouTube from the entire Bodyguards history, but I love this stuff, and I've got a bunch of other Bodyguards related material too. What else do I have for you? Show and tell time. Thanks for being here, my friends. It's Friday night, 38 minutes in. Steppenwolf's legendary singer and frontman John Kay autographed this record. How cool is that? Get your motor running. Head out on the highway. All right. Shut up. This, The Germs, for all you punk rock fans. This live record, Rock and Rule, was signed by Germs drummer Don Bowles. Because Don Bowles and I, well, we've had a little history together. He's been on the radio show a lot, 5-6 times. And he's been on, well, he was on my 30th anniversary Bloody Mess Rock Circus album. And he also contributed vocals to my new album, Dark Days Unfazed, right there. It's available on vinyl and CD, by the way. Easy Jesus Co. Where can I send you some stuff? I'm going to put my email address in the description area when this video is done. But if you go to any of my videos, I always put my email in the description area. So anybody can email me to contact me personally, and we can arrange for you to mail stuff to sign or whatever you need. Somebody just told me, don't shut up. I take that means you're enjoying this show and tell. So yeah, thank you to Don Bowles, who's a very creative genius, and I appreciate him. You can find footage of us recording my new album too on my other channel, The Church of Rock, all one word. Who's on that Germs record? It's the entire original lineup, my friend. Don Bowles, Lorna Doom, Pat Smear, and Darby Crash. This is something I treasure. Pink Floyd's very first album, The Piper at the Gates of Dawn, and easily my favorite Floyd album of all time. This is incredibly, just a beautiful album. And of course, Nick Mason, drummer Nick Mason, autographed this for my youngest daughter, who gifted it to me. I just can't say thanks enough for that one. But yeah, Pink Floyd, I can't count the number of times I've tripped and listened to this album. Hundreds. That's a lot. Wow. Allow me to put these records back into this container, my friends. I got another container here. Do you guys want to see more? Should I continue, or am I boring you guys? Oh boy. I knew this was going to be a little chaotic for me, stuff falling everywhere. Should I continue for a little while, guys? Would you like to see some more cool stuff? Troy says, been looking for that album. Yeah, in good shape. Which one, bro? Keep going, continue, keep going. Duncan Fora most definitely rocks. Yes, he sure does. And you can find 2 of my interviews with Duncan Fora on my other channel as well. Any Imelda May records? No, I'm unfortunately not, my friend. I am not familiar with Imelda May. The first Pink Floyd record was the best. Agreed. Robbie, thank you. All right, let's continue on, guys. As long as you are interested, this is The Doors, Waiting for the Sun album. This is autographed on the front cover by guitar player Robbie Krieger. What a great record. I'm a huge Jim Morrison and the Doors fan. One time I actually performed at a festival in central Illinois called the Ellendorf Music Festival. 2,000 or 3,000 people there. And there was a band called Brainchild, and I love those guys. Well, they asked me to perform at the Ellendorf Music Festival, and they said they wanted to do The Doors' Love Street. So we covered it, and we ate mushrooms before that festival. So if you go on YouTube and type in Brainchild with Derek Moody, my radio name, Love Street, you should be able to find it. The audio's kind of funky, but it was really awesome and literally trippy. The Cramps. This is one of my favorite autographs, guys. I was at a record store in Talent, Oregon called Biscuits and Vinyl Records one day, going through all the records there. It's kind of a small store, but very cool. Mom and pop shop, like all the stores here in Southern Oregon. Yeah, screw those corporations. So I was looking through the records and I'm like, wait a minute, this appears to be autographed. And the owner said, it is, but it's with ink pen. It's not like Sharpie. No one really wants it or whatever. And I'm like, wait a minute. If you look at it in the light here, it's definitely autographed. And I compared autographs online. It's signed on the front. You can barely see it, but you can if you do it in the light. Yeah, it's right there in red pen. And it says Ivy, Poison Ivy. And it's got her signature. Really hard to show you on here, guys. But right here below it, Lux Interior. Right there, we can see it with the pen. It's an ink pen, Lux Interior. And then when I turned it over, I saw that it was signed by Kid Congo Powers. Absolutely, for sure, signed by Kid Congo Powers. And my buddy at the record store got this from another person. And because it's not signed in Sharpie and all that, it's not worth a lot. So I think I got this for either 40 or 60 bucks. But this is the Cramp Psychedelic Jungle, signed by everyone but Nick Knox, the drummer. I love the Cramps, and I consider Lux Interior one of the best vocalists ever. This is a band called the Hickoids. Yep, my buddy Jeff Smith out of Texas. These guys are Texas legends. Woohoo! Yep, the Hickoids, the entire band autographed this album cover all the way around the thing. If you look, there's little things written to me and stuff. I love the Hickoids, and I can't say enough good things about the Hickoids. Thank you to Jeff Smith and company for making my day that day. Haha. All right, man, what else do I got? What else do I got in my little box of treasures? Remember when I talked about Michael Bruce from the Alice Cooper Band telling me about Alice being on crack in the past? I didn't believe it. But if you see this picture of Alice, this is the phase when he was doing those substances and he was going through a lot of hard times. This is autographed by Alice. And I got to tell you something, guys. This is one of my very favorite Alice Cooper records ever made. Yep. There's the original Alice Cooper band, right? And they did all those great records. And then you got this great one here, man. And this album is so severely underrated. Do yourself a favor. Listen to Special Forces. Look at that nice silver autograph and silver Sharpie. Boy, I'm a fanboy. I'll always tell you, first and foremost, yeah, I'm an entertainer and all that stuff, but I will never be too egotistical to know that I started out as a fanboy, and that's where I remain. So yeah, and I really don't have the best self-confidence in the world, so every artist has to have some kind of ego, whether it's healthy or unhealthy. It's a matter of controlling it. But even to paint a painting, you have to have ego. Just thinking the concept I or me, that's called ego, because we're spiritual beings that come here temporarily. So people always go about on this ego business. Yeah, man, everyone's got one. For sure they do. And then there's people that are very humble and people that are just like off the hook with it, right? I only use social media mainly to promote my music and my radio stuff. So all I can do is say that's why I created social media, was to promote, you know. I'm going to get off that, though. The very first Iggy Pop and the Stooges album. Check it out, man. Autographed by Iggy right there on the front cover. Yep. I love me some Stooges. Welcome to my nightmare, Jason says. I love Special Forces and Flesh the Fashion. Yeah, Metamorphic Psyche. Good one, bro. You're authentic, bloody. Much respect from Buzzing Frets. Well, I try to be. Yeah, I try to be. Let's see here. This is a rare one. This is the Lords of a New Church Like a Virgin 7-inch EP that Stiv Bators and Company recorded Madonna's Like a Virgin. There's the band holding Stiv. This is kind of rare. And this is autographed by bass player Dave Tragana on the back from Sham 69, The Wanderers. God, I love Dave. And he also recently, did you guys know that the Lords of the New Church reunited in England, and Michael Monroe from Hanoi Rocks was the singer, and it's all on YouTube, and it's really awesome footage, man. Really awesome footage. Here's another Lords of the New Church record that I got signed. This is another EP that I love that I had lost in the fires of 2020. And I reordered it from Discogs, and then I had sent it to my buddy Graham Williams. Shout out to Graham Williams in England for being a good guy and a good friend who helped me get this autographed by bass player Dave Tragana. Thank you very much, Graham. And also thanks to Sue Williams, good people in England. Another Anvil record. Yeah, Anvil vinyl, a double album signed by Robbo and Lips. You are attending show and tell with Bloody Mess right now. Why did I not title that video in the originally? I don't know why. Here's one that's kind of newer. This is a band called Vintage Trouble. Anybody like those guys? Autographed on the front cover by the whole band. Yeah, these guys were awesome, man. I think they even opened up for the Rolling Stones on one of the Stones tours. Vintage Trouble. Let's see. Ego, yes, you gotta exist. Right? Let's see. Sorry, I don't mean to get on these old rants, but I do that sometimes. I had a couple special things here. Oh, here they are. One more pile for you. Check this stuff out, guys. I got some trippy stuff here, man. Here's a book that was written by the guitar player of the Bay City Rollers, Eric Faulkner, who, interestingly enough, uses his original traditional spelling of Faulkner instead of the way he normally in the press. It's called An Edinburgh Lad. And I got to say, this is autographed to me from Eric Faulkner. Yep. I also have a couple of calendars that he signed and stuff like that. It's an interesting read, but it does leave you wanting much more. There was a book that Eric started writing years ago that he never finished. And I was able to actually, thanks to a friend of mine who shall remain nameless because I'd prefer to do it that way. But a friend of mine helped me through another person obtain the first chapter of that book. I think it was the first chapter of that book that was never released, or one of the chapters. But there was and it had the index of all the different chapters, and they had one on there called A Very Gay Day. I don't have that chapter because I don't think it was ever finished. But I do have that first chapter of the book that Eric Faulkner never released in my collection. Thought about selling it, but how much is it worth, you know? I mean, what I mean by that is how much would somebody pay for that? And by the way, all due respect to Eric Faulkner, I'm not going to get caught up in drama or division. As a fan of the Bay City Rollers, which I have been since 1974, 75, I really do appreciate all those guys. Not talking about personally, I'm talking about as far as musical. Eric Faulkner did a lot of great songs, man. Solo, he still continues to do solo work. Eric Faulkner wrote a lot of great songs. Of course, Woody Wood was part of that. You know, I got to give it up to those guys for writing some really good songs like Money, Honey, and stuff like that. What else do I have here? Here's a book that was written by the twin sister of the runaway singer Cherie Curie. I'm talking about the great, beautiful Marie Curie, who is an artist and a musician. She put out a book, and it's called The Narrow Road of Light. And I interviewed Marie on my Earth Heart radio show, which you can find on Earth Heart Radio on YouTube. But this is pretty cool. She signed this for me in the front. Very nice, heartfelt inscription. So thank you to Marie Curie for being cool. This is a fun one, guys. Check it out. Show and Time with Bloody Mess. Growing Up Brady. I was a teenage Greg, written by Barry Williams, a.k.a. Greg Brady from the Brady Bunch. Check this out, man. Signed to Bloody. Ha, 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 ha. Barry Williams. Check that shit out. Barry Williams, to Bloody, a totally groovy dude. What a priceless thing. It's on eBay with a price. Here's an autographed album by a man I love. I'm a big fan of this man. His name is Ghost Writer. Ghost Writer. And it's signed by Ghost Writer right on the front cover of the CD. Thanks, Bloody, he says. I love me some Ghost Writer. Alice Cooper. This is not autographed, but it was given to me by a good friend of mine. Again, I'll make it nameless because I get a lot of gifts from people, and I just don't want it to be about ego for anybody. But you know who you are, and I appreciate you very much. And those of you that know that I collect rock and roll stuff and that, you know, maybe lose interest in your collections, or maybe you have extra stuff or doubles. Hey, man, I love the rock and roll culture stuff. Books, magazines, you know, records, CDs, 8-tracks, cassette tapes, DVDs. This Alice Cooper tour book is it's from the Raise Your Fist and Yell tour. Pretty cool, man. Really love this, man. And this is not on eBay. Nope. It's something that's really cool in my collection. I know I've got more here, guys. I know I've got some more items to show you. Welcome to Show and Tell. It's been 50 minutes, and I've gone through a lot of items. Wow, man. Can you show us that Gigi record again? Well, your wish is my command. Of course I will, bro. It's right here, but I'm going to take the title out of it because it's offensive to people, and I don't want to be in trouble for that crap. But here's the album. It's signed by Gigi right there. Signed by Gene Steiger, the bass player. Gene Steiger, a.k.a. Gene Perfect, the bass player. Very romantic little inscription from Gene. Ha, ha, ha. See what it says? You can read it for yourself. I'm not reading that. And then Gigi signed right here on this sticker, man. There's a sticker that Gigi Allen signed. This has been authenticated? I believe it has been. But either way, this is up for sale on my eBay. I don't understand why no one's grabbing it. I'm really shocked that no one's bought that by now, because the vinyl alone to that record, Boozing and Pranks Live in Texas, is worth a lot. So whatever. Here's a cool one for you. Richie Ramone's autobiography. It's a really, really good book, and it's called I Know Better Now. And this is really special to me because my original copy of this book got burned in the 2020 Alameda fires. When that happened, I was traumatized for a bit. I reached out to a few people trying to replace some of my goodies, and I got a hold of Richie and said, hey, man, can you help me out? Do you have any extra copies of that, man? I had a signed copy, and it's gone. Richie felt horrible for me, and he sent me some good stuff in the mail, including this replacement copy of this book. My friend Richie, man, what a good dude. And here's what he wrote. And Tracy's out there talking louder than I am. Geesh. It says, To Bloody, thanks for giving us misfits a place we can call home. Talking about my radio show. Your station rocks. You are a seasoned professional and a good guy. Keep it up and enjoy the read. Best, Richie Ramone 2020. What a guy, man. And those interviews I've done with Richie you can find on my other channel, The Church of Rock, all one word. Please subscribe there, guys. Here's a book that's pretty cool. Speaking of Bay City Rollers, this is a neat book that was put out by the founding member of the Bay City Rollers, the late, great Alan Longmire, who's the father of my friend Jordan Longmire over in Scotland. Jordan has visited and stayed with me in my home, and me and Jordan Longmire actually did songs together, including a song called Baby Please Don't Go. And that's a cover that we did together, and there's a music video on YouTube. If you look up Derek Moody and Jordan Longmire, Longmir, Baby Please Don't Go, produced by Paul Roessler from the Screamers, and the video was produced by Mike Garrett. You know what's so special about this book, though? It was autographed in the front cover by Alan's son, Jordan, who I was just talking about. Yep, Jordan signed this book for me. And even more cool, in the back, the ex-wife of Alan Longmire and Jordan's mother, Jan, she autographed the back cover for me, and she put, to Derek, the part about me is not the truth. Alan had a selective memory. Lots of love, Jan Longmire. That is priceless. So this is something that's very special to me, not on eBay. No. Check this out. This is a book that came out of Peoria, Illinois, a few years back. It's called Punks in Peoria. Quite a lengthy read. Has photos in there, and it's got different, chapters. And I've actually got my own chapter in this book, my friends. I'm trying to figure out which chapter it is. It's called, the chapter is called, I'm going to look for that in the beginning, guys. Let's see here. This is autographed by the guy that put out the book, John Wright. There's two guys that did it, and John was one of them. Thank you, John, for signing that for me and for including me in the book. And I can't remember the other cat's name, and I feel stupid and I feel bad. No disrespect. Dawson Barrett. There you go, Dawson Barrett. Much respect to you guys for putting out this book. But I want to show you the chapter that these guys dedicated to me. I knew I was going to be in the book because they interviewed me, but I did not know it was going to be in my own chapter. And here's what it's titled. Check this out. Public Enemy Number 1. Because back in the day, I was kind of a bad boy in central Illinois. And we were in the paper like regularly from 1985 to the mid 2000s, literally. And so calling me Public Enemy Number 1, a little sketchy there. That was John Dillinger's tag. He was a gangster. I think they could have come up with a better title, but whatever. Here's a picture of me from 1985 in this book with my mohawk. That's me, 1985, Hellraiser. That's when I was singing for a band called Hate. But, in reading this book, I noticed my name kept popping up. So I started keeping a little tally mark. How many times will I see my name in this book, Punks in Peoria? 32. 32 times, 32 other pages I'm talked about in this book. So that's kind of neat. It's not every day that you get a book that you're written about in. I'm in a few, but not like this one. The cool thing about this is it also came with a vinyl album on orange vinyl, or you could get the CD. And it had a lot of bands from Central Illinois. And I'm proud to say I got 3 of my songs on there, including a song from Chips Patrol, 1983 or 84. I got a song from the band Bloody Mess and Hate from 85. And they used Empty by Bloody Mess and the Scabs, which was 1992. Thank you to the people from Punks in Peoria for including me. I haven't heard from those guys since this book came out. Don't know if there's any animosity or weird blood or anything. I don't think so, but you never know in this world. Not on my part, though. All I can say is, I don't know, man. It makes me want to talk about a certain record label that's been doing some unscrupulous stuff, and I don't like it, but I'm going to do that for another time. This is a time for love, baby, love. Right now, check this book out. My good friend Steve Westkirchen, who's a lovely and dear friend of mine in Grants Pass, Oregon, he gave me a gift one day, and this is part of the gift. Where's Alice? Remember Where's Waldo? When you get this book with these little pages in it like this, and you have to look for this character named Waldo? Dude, this book is all about Alice Cooper, and every page is so awesome. Look at this. And you got to find Alice. It's called Where's Alice? And isn't that awesome? It is such a cool, cool book. Not on eBay, but yeah, I really love this book, and I thought you guys might dig it. Yeah, Alice. Big fan of Alice Cooper since the 90s. Can you believe today I posted on my Instagram a photo of Alice Cooper with the Hollywood Vampires, right? Saw those guys play in 2016, got to meet Joe Perry. But anyway, I posted this picture of Alice Cooper and Johnny Depp, blah, blah, blah. And Sister Tracy got to meet Johnny Depp. Anyway, this guy goes, I don't like Alice Cooper, not a fan. And then he puts right-wing douche. I'm like, what is wrong with you, dude? Don't you know that printing stuff like that on a social media is just cause for strife? You know damn well when you write something like that you're opening the door to controversy, to making someone else potentially mad, or have somebody on your team going, yeah, man, you're right, bro, and your lame-ass political views. But you know what, dude? Let me tell you a little secret about me. I don't do politics. I don't believe any of the shit that I read on the paper. I don't watch any mainstream news. I haven't had a TV since 2010 when I moved to Oregon, and I do not watch news as a rule. Now, like, don't mistake that for apathy. I'm not apathy, because apathy kills. I'm tuned into a different vibration on this whole thing. I'm looking at the big picture. I realize that we're only here temporarily for a short time. We are in these bodies for a short time, and we send ourselves here for a reason. This is what I really believe. Call me nuts if you want. It's my channel, and I'm just telling you how I feel. And you have every right to express a different or opposing viewpoint, and you'll be met with peace here. No problem, guys. I have no problem with differing opinions. Just don't judge me, and I won't judge you. Let's communicate with each other. But yeah, I believe we're here for a short time. This is a classroom, and we learn what we learn, and then we depart. Those of us who stick around longer than others have more stuff to learn, basically based on the laws of karma, and that's what I believe. So if you have a differing opinion, no problem. I don't shove my opinions down others' throats, and I appreciate if you didn't shove yours down mine. Many people have a lot of the same belief systems in this world, but I don't believe in those systems. So what I'll say is this: I don't prescribe or subscribe to any particular political branch, any particular religion. My religion is love. That's the name of a song on my new album. Because at the core of everything, all human beings want, before they're all screwed up and have trauma come into their lives at a young age, from the moment they first hear their parents screaming, or stress or anxiety, people are just here based on love. It's a vibration. Everything is vibrating. It's a frequency. It's sound. It's light. And we are all self-creating this as we go. So people that want to leave comments like, oh, I don't like Alice Cooper, he's a right-wing douchebag. Where did we ask for your opinion, dude? Why do you got to bring politics into everything? When I was a little kid, I used to listen to adults talking about politics, and I thought one word: boring. And I kept saying to myself, and this is true, man, I never want to grow up and be like these people and be so like done with fun that all I do is obsessed with politics, man. It's so god darn boring to me. And yeah, we have to have reality and all that stuff, but the thing is, the people in charge of creating our realities are all in bed together, guys. I don't do right, left, or in the middle, or any of that stuff, man. And I respect all of you guys for what you believe. You'll never hear me going, oh, screw you, blah, 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 I believe this. Nope, nope, nope. Because I won't talk about politics. If you want to come at me with some super high frequency, respectful, and intelligent vibe about religion and politics, I'll talk to you all day long about it one-on-one. And I'm educated too, and I don't make guesses, and I don't follow crowds, and I don't guess, and I don't drink the Kool-Aid without studying, examining, and researching the Kool-Aid. And guess what? It pays off to do that. So that's all I'm going to say. But can we just get along? Can't we just smoke a bong? I've got something rare here. I'm going to stop preaching, guys. But I want to send nothing but good vibes to all you guys. And thank you for being here. And I do appreciate it, man. I really do. It's nice to be here with you guys. Check this out. This is a very rare book called Your Heart in Your Mouth. This is the story of the first 4 years of the Plasmatics. This book was put out by the Plasmatics themselves. I better not show you the back cover. But this thing is chock full of nothing but just cool photos and like stories and old flyers. And like, dude, it is one of the coolest things that I own, single-handedly. Yeah, I mean, it's got just really good. But here's the really good part about this. The book's falling apart, unfortunately. But check it out. All the pages are intact. I got to go backstage and meet the Plasmatics. That story is on this channel under the video section. It's called Meeting the Plasmatics, and I was tripping when I met him, tripping heavy. Me and my friend Kevin, right? And so we went backstage after the show because I was friends with Wendy O. Williams. We would call each other on the phone, send postcards, letters. Yep, she was a real friend. And check this out, man. When we got backstage to hang out with Wendy and the company, every person on that tour autographed this inside cover for me. And I was able to keep this because it was at my apartment when the fires happened in 2020. But man, Wendy O. Williams signed it. Look, right there, Wendy. All the different members of the band signed it. Even legendary, and he doesn't do autographs. Where is it? It was even signed by Rod Swenson, the manager and the guy that invented the Plasmatics. But this is cool, man. It's got West Beach. It's got Michael Ray. It's got Wendy O. Williams. It's got Ray Callahan. And then it's got Chris Romanelli and Rod Swenson's little doctor autograph there, Dr. Scratch. But man, how cool is this, huh? One of my favorite items in my collection right here, guys. Whoopsie. I showed the photo upside down that I wasn't going to show. Who cares? What else? Is there anything else sitting around me that I have not showed you guys? I thought there was a couple things. Maybe not. Here's one signed by Greg Turner that I just looked around and saw on the floor. I think Greg, Angry Samoans, correct? Yeah. Greg Turner from the Angry Samoans. If I'm wrong about that, oh my God. The Vandals? No, Angry Samoans. But he signed this for me. You know what? I think I'm going to probably go ahead and get to the questions and answers segment and start reading some of you guys' feedback right now going on the screen. I saw Freaks on Parade, Rob Zombie, Alice Cooper. That's awesome. Even as a millennial who's been a fan of this stuff my whole teenage adult life, I still can't really imagine how different the world was then. It was so different, man, pre-social media. There are so many good things about social media, but it's not the real world. Being on social media and, like, say, talking to somebody for a year or two, and then you meet him in person, it's not the same. So cyber reality is reality to a degree, but you can't ever get to know a real person until you spend at least like 6 months with them cumulatively. Look up psychology, look up science. I've studied this stuff. And I have met people that I've known for years and years, dozens of times on the internet. And then you meet them and it's either bad different or good different when you meet them in person. Generally, it's all the same, and they're what they portray themselves to be. But you can't form a solid connection that transcends being in a human energy. You just can't. So the cyber world is good in one hand, but bad in another. But I'm going to jump off my soapbox on that one. Did you ever talk to the G-Man on the phone? Yeah, it rhymes with Stacy. Yep, I did. I talked to him on the phone lots of times, man. And 3 in-person visits too, 6 hours a piece. But I really don't want to go there, to be honest, my friend. I'm sorry. You can ask me this stuff on an email, though, and I'll answer all your questions. I just got to be careful on here because a lot of people get turned off by some of the stuff in my past. I was involved in a lot of really crazy shock rock, nihilistic stuff for many years, and then I became a much better guy when I got rid of that alcohol habit and also came to my senses on the creation of this universe and realized what the big picture was. I'm 33 and I have like tiny bits of memory how it was totally different vibe. Yep, it was. I'm 58 now, man. I'll be 59 in March. March 16th is my 59th birthday, guys. Before hearing aids, it was harder meeting people in person. Hotter, or you must have misspelled something. Before hearing aids, it was something about person. I don't know. But yeah, people are saying, yeah, I hear you. Facts. It's all good. It's true. I mean, as much as I hate to say it, you just can't get to know somebody on a real human level unless you spend time with them on a human level. Cyber just doesn't do it, man. It's not the real world, guys. It's partially the real world, though, and like the great Ram Dass said, you can use social media for good, but most people don't. It's a lot of small talk, a lot of gossip, hackers, just, people putting out misinformation. But you can also use it to like meet people, video chat with your loved ones, connect with music. I mean, like YouTube is one of the greatest inventions ever because you can just type in anything and there it is. I mean, you can't go in any other platform and find music like you can on YouTube. Nope, none of them touch it, man, because they've got TV shows too, everything. The old shows and new shows that were real. I'm 51. Hi, Carrie Bowman. When everyone wrote letters, it was much better. Yep, it was. And I used to be a prolific writer. I know a lot of my friends were into pen paling. I was. I love the shock rock, he says, but I quit alcohol and I've been straight 3.5 years. Good for you, man. I've had taste of alcohol, but I haven't gotten drunk or drank any more than like this much of any kind of alcohol since 2013. I think I had like a taste of wine when I went to LA and did my album. And then I did like a half pint when I was in Scotland just to try some apple lager, but I didn't go back for seconds. And I haven't been drunk since 2013 and I don't plan on it again. But do we ever? So just one day at a time, bro. Troy Leach, if people can spread hate for no reason, why can't we spread love for no reason? I love that dude. You got such a big heart, Troy. I love Troy Leach. How is Doyle in real life? You mean from the Misfits? Very shy, very quiet, sarcastic, but very nice and kind. He drinks non-alcoholic beer. Well, that's cool. There is a slight bit of alcohol in that beer, I found out. but not enough to get drunk on. I enjoy the convenience we now have, but I'm so glad to have experienced the tape trading era. Yep, absolutely. I was a big tape trader. Yep, I was a big tape trader. I used to do a company called Bloody Mess Publications, and I did fanzines, VHS tapes, cassette tapes. I did promoted shows, like punk shows. I just did a lot of stuff. And then later on, I had Fanatic talent. I had God, my memory sucks. I had a talent agency where I represented bands, and I was like the guy they'd come to, they'd pay me, and I'd get them gigs every week, and I'd have shows for them lined up. I had a talent agency called Fanatic Talent. Greatest accomplishment in my career? What's my greatest accomplishment? Boy, I don't know really, because I like to think that it's still going, and I guess just the fact that I'm still alive. Because most of my cohorts are dead. I mean, 3/4, I'd say half of the people that I was regularly friends with are dead. The other half aren't because they were smart enough to stay off drugs. But yeah, just staying alive, being alive. A lot of people will find me on social media, and the first thing they say is, "Dude, you're still alive." So my greatest accomplishment in my career is keep yourself alive. That's what I've done. Thank you for the question, Karen in Rhode Island. I love you too, bro. Troy says, you've been a great friend for many years. I'm so glad I met you. Ditto, Troy. How was it hanging out with Gigi in the 80s? Well, in the 80s and the 90s, it was easy for me because when he met me, he met his match. See, I was a little bit crazy at the time and drinking a lot. So there were a lot of times where Gigi would not go to jail and I would, or I'd get kicked out of the bar and he wouldn't because I was pretty out there. So when he met me, he met his match. So he was no crazier than I was, that's for sure. On stage, he was. Yeah, I never did this kind of stuff that I've been accused of on stage that Gigi did. Nope. I would never have done anything like that. As far as going number one, maybe, but not number two. I'm leaving. I'm not going to go there anymore. How was it? Do you have any Bay City Rollers Once Upon a Star on vinyl? Yeah, I've got every record the Bay City Rollers ever did on vinyl. I'll pull it out. Hang on a second. Ha ha ha, I'll pull it out. That's what he said. Hang on, I'll show you. Bum, 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 bum. I've got every single record that the Bay City Rollers ever put out. Here's my copy on vinyl. And check this out. You want to see something really trippy? This is going to blow your mind if you're a Bay City Roller fan. This is autographed by every member of the Bay City Rollers. Woody Wood, and this is the real deal, guys. Woody Wood signed it in an orange marker right there. And the next one is Eric Faulkner. Love and kisses from Eric Faulkner. Remember, I got this, I bought this from somebody. This is the real deal from someone that's from Scotland that I know. Derek Longmire, very controversial drummer of the Bay City Rollers. I won't even go there, but yeah, that guy, something else. Here's Les McEwen from the Bay City Rollers, his singer. Believe it or not, I had 2 copies of this, right? This copy with these autographs, and then I got another copy that had no autographs, and then I found out that Les had signed it. So what I did is I sold the other copy, and I put this Les autograph in this copy. So that's why his is the only one signed in blue, because he had signed a different record. And finally, Alan Longmire, the legendary creator of the Bay City Rollers, the originator, and a great dude from what I hear. I mean, you know, you hear all kinds of stuff. But yeah, man, I've got all kinds of Bay City Rollers records. I've got every single album those guys ever released, and I've many of the different pressings from Europe and stuff, and a ton of 7-inches, and many of them are autographed, a lot of them. No problem, man. Let's see. Greatest accomplishment still alive. Great answer. Yeah, man. I'm pretty proud of the music I've done. I did an interview for the Nothing Shocking podcast yesterday or the day before, and they actually spent most of their time talking about my songs. Because I'm telling you, from this day forward, I've done enough interviews in my life about you know who, the artist that did the Scabs first record, and then of course Gigi, and I'm up to here with it. It's just the same old, same old. So from now on, I am no longer, when I do get asked to be interviewed, which, you know, I've probably done maybe 15 interviews in the last 6 months, maybe 16, 17, based on my new album. There's a ton out there, different, you know, podcasts and interviews. No longer am I going to entertain these questions about Gigi and Gacy and all that stuff. It's just so boring, man. I just want to talk about the music I've accomplished. So that's what I'm doing from here on forward. Shout out to Nothing Shocking for really going into detail about my new album, asking me about songs like Michael Monroe and, Mother Under My Wheel and the different songs on my record. That's what I want to talk about. Do you have a massive collection of the Bay City Rollers rare material? Oh, yeah. She says I do have. Yeah. Well, you've been to my house, Karen. You've seen my collection. I've got a case about this big and this deep with hundreds of CDs that are rare, bootlegs and live stuff. And I've got another case that's just stock full about this many vinyl records, and it's every record. And I've got a lot of the solo stuff and whatever. Yeah, a lot. My newest album is awesome. Thank you very much, Cheryl. Dark Days Unfazed. Right here, my friends. Artwork by the great Sam Dantone. Look at that artwork, man. Sister Tracy did the photo of me. The back cover Sam Dantone did. Of course, we changed the back cover from the CD to this copy because I felt bad because I did collaborations, but it was a solo record too. And so on the CD, it just has my name. But when I got the album, I'm like, why don't I put on the back who's on here? And I still left off some of the people. So, man, one of my big regrets is not just having all the information. Like, for instance, why didn't I put Bill Meisner, Lydia Paweski, and Sister Tracy did backing vocals? I guess because it was just so much wording. But all the stuff is on the inside, man. I mean, I do have an insert for these records. And I made sure to put a photo of everybody that contributed. Everyone's pictured. And there's credits here, on the back under the songs. It tells you who's on every song. So there's definitely crediting, but I feel bad that I didn't put everybody on the back cover, and I apologize if you were part of my record. But thank you to Fanatic Records, which is my label. We issued this on CD. Ragged Records and myself issued this on vinyl, and Ponk Media, they're the ones that put this online. So if you want to hear Dark Days Unfazed, you can go to YouTube and hear it right now. If you want to own a copy for your collection, I've got a few of each left. You can hit me up at the email dmoody41@hotmail.com, and it's in every one of my videos in the description area. Just go down in the description area and look for my email. Guar Fan says he's going to check my music out. Yeah. The new album has got a mixture of punk rock, hard rock, psychedelic, a little blues. Hey, Dylan, Bloody. He says, Bloody, I didn't know you were going live today. Yeah, I put out a thing a couple days ago, but I know, most people don't see everything at the same time. So yeah, here I am, man. Have I ever heard of Rocky Erickson? Are you kidding? Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Rocky Erickson and 13th Floor Elevators, and I do love all his solo work. That stuff is amazing. Love it, dude. Love it. Roy Harper's Hat says Mother Under My Wheels is a great song. Yep, it is. And it was written by the great Lisa Leathers. And that's her real name, too. What a rock and roll name, huh? Lisa freaking Leathers. I've known Lisa since about 1991, I think, 92. We've been really good friends. And when I did my album, I thought, I really love the song Mother Under My Wheel that Lisa did with her old band Safe Sex. And she's done it solo for years. I said, hey, man, let's collaborate and do this together. So me and Lisa did. She assembled a killer band, recorded the song with her vocals, sent it to me. I sent it to Paul Rosso in L.A., drove down to L.A. with Tracy and Jordan and Jet Dog, and I threw on my vocals, and now that song is on my album. And Lisa Leathers is going to be joining me March 14th when I perform live. What a rare event this will be. Davenport, Iowa at the Raccoon Motel. Lisa's going to be there to do Mother Under My Wheel with me and the band Super 88. By the way, Super 88 is going to be one of the opening acts as well as backing me up. So can't say enough good things about Dave Moe and Brody Mogg and Jeff Hyde and Chris Anderson and Nick Roseman and all the guys in Super 88. I love those guys. What would 25, 30-year-old Bloody say to 58-year-old Bloody, and what would 58-year-old Bloody say to 25-year-old Bloody? Well, I don't regret the past. I've learned from every mistake, so I probably wouldn't change anything. But if I were back then, I would probably try to accelerate my path that I got on in about 2010, 2011, when I started realizing there was some big spiritual event happening in my life, and it did, and that's another story. But I became a whole different person pretty much. Lisa Leathers is a rocker. She sure is, man. What do you think about Jane's Addiction's onstage fight? I think Perry Farrell sadly has a mental addiction. I think Perry Farrell is a struggling addict, and I know he's having mental issues because I've read different accounts. So I feel sorry for him. I think the onstage thing was sad, and I think it wasn't a fight. I think Dave was just like, whoa, what the hell, dude? But I think he snapped. But if you listen to that music, it was way loud, and Perry Farrell said he was sick and tired of the band overriding him, and it was causing tension. So it's kind of like you have to be there kind of thing to really judge Perry, but it's sad. Very sad. Troy Leach, no. Bum, 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 bum. Troy says he's going to both shows of mine in the Midwest in March. Really? Dude, that'd be freaking so cool if you did. I'd love to see you in Davenport, March 14th at the Raccoon Motel, and Chicago, Illinois, March 15th at Live Wire Club. Yeah, man, I don't play out very much. I haven't done a live gig since 2022. Since 2020, I think I've done 2 gigs. I did one in 2020 for my birthday gig with Divine Dirt, and then we broke up because of COVID and all that. And I decided to retire from being in bands, which I've stuck to. And then in 2022, I started a band called the Punk Rollers, a one-off band to open up for Richie Ramone here. And that's it. I haven't done any gigs since then. So in 2025, I'm doing 2 shows back to back, man. Davenport, Iowa, March 14th, Chicago, March 15th. If you are in a band somewhere in the United States or anywhere in the world and you want to learn a bunch of my music or a set of my music and you want me to fly out and do a little mini tour, I'll do that, man. I've done it a lot in the past and it works out great that way. As long as the band is tight and willing to work together with me, we could do that. So if you're in a band or you have a band and you want to go on tour with me, we can make that happen, dude. But I only have a couple stipulations, and that is as long as you can understand that I'm not a drinker. 2, also, I'd have to perform at least half to 3/4 of this album live, at least half of it, so I could call it Dark Days Unfazed mini tour, because that's what we're doing in 2025 in March. Super 88, Bloody F Mess, Dark Days Unfazed, Ultra Mega mini tour. 2 gigs, man. But I'm willing to do more gigs if you guys, if you got a band out there and you want to back me up. I've done that about 10 times in my life where I've flown into a place, done 1 rehearsal with a very well-rehearsed band, and then we hit the road the next day to pre-set up gigs. I can make the gigs happen. I can promote them. I can manage them. I can get us paid. But I need a band to do it, and I'm not joining a band full-time. Those days are behind me. Hoping to get both of to your gigs in March. Thank you, Karen, from Rhode Island. That'll be a doozy for you to try to do, but hey, good luck if you can make it. See you there, my friend. Cassie Brown, oh my, I need to see you then. Woohoo! Yeah, come out and see me, man. Christopher Valdez, Perry is reuniting. Sidecom. Is that a different band? I'm not familiar with that, bro. So we've been doing this for 1 hour and 20 minutes. I've got 40 people in the house. I want to take the time to say thank you guys for being here. It's been an honor to hang out and show you some of my cool stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Did you guys enjoy that? Because I'd like a little feedback. Be honest, was the show and tell fun or was it boring? I'd like to know your opinions because you guys, your opinions mean a lot to me. So tell me what you think. Was show and tell fun or not? I did show you a lot of cool stuff. Cheryl says she loved it all. Awesome. Thank you. Did I ever see Jackie Fox on Jeopardy? No, but I have had experiences with Jackie Fox and the Runaways. She actually sent me a bunch of autograph stuff that I lost in the fires in 2020. Took me forever. Jackie hardly ever signs for anybody. And I had her sign a DVD and a bunch of photos, and they're all gone now, whatever. But yeah. Sidecom. I'm not sure what that is. Whatever that is. PSI-Com. Was that a band that Perry Farrell was in that I missed? Weird. Great live. Thank you to Gary in Arizona. I just tuned in, so I missed it. Dylan, when I'm done with this, I'm going to hit archive, and it's go right to my channel. It's going to be under the live section, so you'll be able to watch everything you missed. Troy says it was fun. Getting late here on the East Coast. I have to work in the morning. Good night. Sweet dreams, bro. Thank you so much for being here, Troy. Been fun hanging with you, buddy. Showing your collection was phenomenal. Thank you, Karen. Awesome, especially if you gave me that Gigi record. If you give me $1,000, I'll give it to you, bro. Woohoo! $1,000, it's yours. I had it for $2,000, and then I went. But you know, it's all up according to what somebody wants to pay for it. But I won't let it go for less than $1,000. Okay, I'll do $999.99. Yeah, dude, I just saw some records that went for so much money this week on eBay. Like one record was like $26,000 for like something you'd be like, what? Yeah, my daughter Audrey, she has a killer store on eBay called Pacific Northwest Collectibles. And phew, she's got some neat stuff there, man. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of items. Would you get a Gary Coleman tattoo? Yeah, only on my face, though. And then right next to it, it'd say, "What you talk about, Willis?" And then on my back, I'll get a Dana Plato. And then on my the bottom of my foot, I'll get a Todd Bridges. How's that? Oh, boy. Have I ever posted the link to my eBay store? I have on Facebook. My eBay store is called Fanatic Pop Culture. And if you type in Divine Dirt Vinyl Autographed Album, you'll find my channel because no one else has those for sale but me. Or if you type in Dark Days Unfazed Autographed Vinyl by Bloody Mess, you'll find my eBay store. Please subscribe to my eBay store so you can see whenever I'm listing things, guys. Yeah, I will do I don't have a t-shirt. Well, I do a t-shirt show. I could. Yeah, I could. What you talking about, Willis? A t-shirt show? Yeah, I could. I lost so many of my original t-shirts in the fire, but I do have a lot now. I guess I could do that. It's a good idea. Any word when to expect Wax Fruit video? Well, that's up to Richard Allen in Racine, Wisconsin. He's making the video. I can tell you we're all done. I can tell you he sent me a clip of it yesterday, and it's awesome. West Beach sent me some footage of himself playing guitar, and there was like stuff in the background. Ricky knows how to do green screen and all kinds of top-notch effects. You have to understand, Ricky Allen used to design video games at a company in California. He's a very smart man when it comes to electronicals and technology. But he sent me that clip of West Beach, and it showed a bunch of cars and traffic going real fast on either side of him. I'm like, whoa! And it looked like West was in the middle of the street playing guitar with all this craziness around him. So that video is going to be good, and I think it'll be out within a month. Webster was cuter. Ha 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 ha. I never really watched Webster much. But I did love Facts of Life, and I did love this Gary Coleman show, whatever it was. Are you writing any songs now? You know, I do a lot of poetry writing, and I do write songs. That's a good question. I do write songs, but I only finish a song when I'm actually writing it to put out. But I have dozens of songs that I have titles to, dozens of songs where I have like a verse, dozens of songs where I have like a chorus that rhymes. It's like, to me in my mind, oh, this is genius. And then I'll put them in a book. And then when I go to do like, say, an album like Dark Days Unfazed, that's when I pull out that stuff. And then I go, oh, here's an idea that I was thinking of. I have a lot of things you'd be into. Would you be interested in a trade possibly? Yes, please email me. I love trading. And as far as the G.G. Allen, if you're talking about trading in that, it'd have to be something worth money, bro, because the thing about me is I'm a hustler and I don't have a regular gig. So there's some weeks where I got to go to the food bank just to get food, bro. So I have to have something equivalent that I could sell, that I could put on eBay that would make me at least $1,000. But, whatever. There's other things I can trade too. There's all kinds of stuff I can trade. And I have a lot of things. So you can just email me. D as in dog, the word Moody, and then 41, D Moody 41 at hotmail.com. And my eBay store is called Fanatic Pop Culture. If you type in Bloody Mess, Dark Days Unfazed, Autographed, you'll get to my channel easy. And I would appreciate anyone that would subscribe or check out some of the stuff I have for sale. I have a lot of Bay City Rollers items for sale and a lot of rock and roll autograph stuff and I have like, here's one. Dun, da, da! It's a Devo drum head. Yep, a Devo drum head signed by all the original members of Devo that are still with the band. And it's even got a drawing that Mark Mothersbaugh drew on there. Check that out, huh? Yep, this is for sale on my eBay channel right now. I've got all kinds of cool stuff on there, man. Here's an article I just found. Bloody Revolts Against Punk. This is an article that appeared in the Journal Star newspaper back in 1990. April 13th, 1995. And there's the writer for the article. I found a whole envelope full of these newspaper articles that I have. This is a pretty good one. It's about when I didn't revolt against punk. I just started an outlaw punk country band and I wanted some attention in the press. So I sent out a press release and they bit. And they said, what? Legendary punk rocker Bloody Mess is quitting punk. But it was just my way of getting attention to the new stuff, the country stuff. If anyone has any cool rock shirts you want to donate, hey man, normally I wear size large, but I've lost a lot of freaking weight. So now I wear medium. but I could do medium or large. If you got any shirts you want to trade or donate, hey man, I would be so grateful. Or any clothes, man, like cool striped socks. Also jewelry. I love to trade for jewelry. I love to show you some of my jewelry. Yeah, I like to trade for jewelry. These are all homemade items. Everything I have is a homemade item for the most part. And people ask me what this says all the time. I'll just let you read it for yourself. Hare Krishna. Yep, that's what it says. And I've got little dangly things with like little cool things that dangle and, whatever. Yeah. Oh, these homemade earrings too, man. I love earrings. So if you guys want to trade records or jewelry or autographed items or t-shirts or whatever you got, I love to trade. Yeah, email me, Easy Jesus Co. Whip it good. Any articles from your past that you haven't posted on Facebook? A lot, a whole lot. I have a file about this thick, Karen. There's a lot of stuff I won't post on Facebook because I don't need to relive the same can of worms that I've opened up in the past and have to explain to people, this is me 30 years ago. Because people, man, they just hold you to the now. So you got to be careful in this world. But I'll show them on here sometime. Maybe sometime I'll do one of these where I can show articles from the press. Remember, a lot of my stuff's gone, though. I just have what I had in the apartment at the time when the fires happened. Wow, David Allen Coe is my uncle. I got a lot of Coe and Company memorabilia. Nice. Nice. I love Coe. I had a weird dream last night that I was jamming with Steve Jones. Christopher Valdez in the house. Steve Jones from the Sex Pistols rules. I love that guy. I loved his book. I love all the music he's done in his life. Even his solo stuff, the Sex Pistols. And I actually was privileged enough to open up kind of for the Sex Pistols on the reunion tour. Myself and members of 1096 and Beautiful Bert all on stage doing like Chinese rocks and stuff like that. Yep. And we were one of the openers for the Pistols. And I remember Reverend Norbert Ugly, Reverend Norb from Maximum Rock and Roll, a columnist and also punk rocker in his own bands. Reverend Norb reviewed the show from Maximum Rock and Roll magazine, and he said the best thing about this Budweiser corporate sponsored event was members of Bloody Mess, 1096, and Beautiful Bert opening the show. That is something I'll never forget. I'm reading some of your comments, guys. What was your favorite of the songs that Jordan performed live in Edinburgh, Scotland? Well, that wouldn't be fair for me to say because I wasn't there for the entire songs. And to really feel a live performance, you kind of got to be right there in the energy. All I can say is that Jordan Longmire did a fantastic job on all the songs that I saw. His band was good. The crowd seemed like they were very appreciative. So yeah, well, I'm glad that Jordan performed. And I think it was extra special that he did Rock and Roll Honeymoon. That was probably my very favorite because that was his dad's song. And it was nice to see him do that. I was hoping he would do that or one of the Roller songs. So yeah, good job. Double thumbs up to Jordan Longmire, my good friend. And I'm in regular touch with Jordan on the weekly. Every couple of days we send each other funny memes and stuff. What's the first record I ever owned? It was a Beatles Apple 7-inch back when I was like 5, because that's when my memories start. I remember before my brother was born, and he's 5 years my junior, so I remember seeing the Apple label, so that has to be one of my earliest records, the Beatles. Remembering my mother, Bonnie, she was the biggest rocker in my life and turned me on to everything, man. Did I ever listen to Little Steven's Underground radio show? Oh, yeah. That dude's awesome. He's legit, man. I love Little Steven. Yep. Great dude, man. He's been a part of some good records, too, over the years. How do I feel about Jimmy Savile? I think he's a piece of shit pedo. I can't stand him, man. Yeah. I don't even want to talk about that kind of stuff that gets my blood boiling. I have daughters. You know what I mean? And I have a very, very thin line for people that do stuff like that. And I could easily turn real negative and dark right now about that stuff, but I'm not going to go there, dude. I just hope that wherever he's at, it's extremely painful, that prick. How do I feel about Jimmy Savile? Are you kidding me, bro? How would anybody feel about Jimmy Savile? What a piece of human filth. Yeah, if anyone doesn't know who that is, look that creep up and you'll know what I'm talking about. One of the biggest pieces of you-know-what in human history and entertainment. Nothing good to say about that creep. Okay, man, we're about 1:33. I'm going to probably stop this in just a few minutes. I feel like that it was a very productive. I hope you guys enjoyed the show and tell. I really do. I was looking forward to showing you guys some collectibles. Those of you who have just joined or are new that weren't here earlier, I did a nice long, maybe an hour long show and tell session. I showed a lot of cool books and music that's autographed and some collectibles. When this is over, the live stream, you can go right to my channel and watch the whole thing if you'd like to see these things again. Dun, dun, dun. Plasmatics project. What's new on that? Yeah, I'm doing a project right now, which is basically a tribute to Wendy L. Williams and the Plasmatics. And Wes Beach and I from the Plasmatics are doing 4 Plasmatics originals, including, what are we doing? A Pig is a Pig is one of the songs we're doing. I think we're doing Black Leather Monster and 2 others. And we're also doing 2 new originals. Yeah, if you didn't know, Wes Beach and T.C. Tolliver, guitarist and drummer from the Plasmatics, we did a song together on my new album, and the song is called Wax Fruit. Right now, the video is being made for that, but me and Wes decided, it was Wes's idea to do a Plasmatics to the tribute, and he kindly asked me to contribute vocals, and I'm very, very honored. So it'll be 4 Plasmatics covers and 2 brand new originals. And if you didn't know, me and Wes Beach also worked together in 2003. If you go on YouTube and check out my song, Rock and Roll Scallywag, that's a song that me and Wes Beach co-wrote together. So this will be the 3rd time we're doing something together. And I'm extremely excited, and I'm days away now from getting those 2 originals from Wes Beach via email. I can't wait to get those songs. And then we're going to put that out hopefully on vinyl. I'm looking for a label. I need a label to hit me up that wants to put that out. It's a guaranteed get your money back kind of project. So if any labels want to help out, let me know. It's going to be a good one. I might even reach out to a couple of labels. But there was a rumor that Rod Swenson from the Plasmatics, just a rumor, that there's a possibility that it could maybe possibly come out on Plasmatics Records. That would be awesome. But what I'd really like is Cleopatra Records. If anyone has it, anybody that has an in with Cleopatra Records, please put me in touch with that person, because I think this is a worthy project. And here's the clincher. It's not going to have me and Wes Beach from the Plasmatics, but it's going to feature guest stars like rock stars, maybe the underground type, maybe some names you've heard of. And I'm going to stay mum on that for now, because Wes Beach is the guy that's in control of this project. I was asked along to do vocals and to write lyrics and titles for the 2 original songs. What a blessing. That's the kind of stuff I live for. So I'm kind of looking for a band right now that wants to go on the road with me to do a short mini tour. Super 88 and I are hooking up in March, but if anybody has a band on the East Coast, West Coast, down South, Canada, freaking Italy, England, Scotland, I'd do it, man. All you got to do is provide the band that has talent. It's got to be a goddamn good band, because I don't go backwards. It's got to match the greatness of this record. No one's going to duplicate what Dave Moe does, but people can do their own versions and do a damn good job if they want to collaborate. But I'm down, man. But we'd have to do a lot of songs on my record, including, like Skies Are Black, Mother Under My Wheel, Zeller Dweller, Get Leery, whatever, all these songs. So if anyone has a band or knows of a band that wants to do some touring with me, I'd do anywhere from 2 to 4 to 6 gigs with you. If you want to go on the road, I'll set up the tour. I'll manage it all. And I'll make sure we all get paid. Good night, Jason. Thank you, my brother. Have a good night, bro. Thanks for being here. Put the Plasmatics project on CD. That's going to be up to West Beach. I'm sure that it will be, if we can get someone to pay for it. I'm not going to be able to pay for it. It costs a lot of money to do CDs, and not many people buy them anymore. Trust me, I just put one out, and I know how they don't sell that well. CDs sell, but not that much. Most people prefer digital these days. Yeah, there are collectors, but it's very small. And even vinyl, people buy them, but not like they used to. So if it comes out on CD, it'd probably be very limited, I'm guessing. But yeah, I'm in your corner, Karen. I want that to come out on CD and vinyl, but it's not up to me. It's up to Wes too. Kim Fowley album, outrageous. Absolutely. I love that guy. Was nuts, but I loved him. Every track on my new album is incredible. Thank you very much. Not even one filler song. Thank you very much, man. Cellar Dweller. Haha, Mark. Hi, Bloody. Happy Friday from Lee in Oregon. Hey, Lee. Thank you for being here on a Friday night. It's been an hour and 38 minutes of shite on a Friday night. I'm surprised anyone's still here, but I'm really grateful, you guys. It's not easy to have a YouTube channel these days. There's so much competition. You know what I mean? And I try to be totally transparent, and it's hard because it's just a hard world to be in these days. Hi, Bloody. Have you ever met Rodney Bingenheimer? No, I have not, but I'm a big fan of radio, and I know all about his history, KROQ, and I've listened to his broadcasts and stuff. I hear that Rodney's in a bit of hot water right now. Yeah, the Jimmy Savile type, unfortunately, but I'm not going to sit here and judge. I wasn't there, but I've heard some weird stuff lately. I hope Rodney's, I don't know, who knows. But yeah, as far as the show, I like it. Nice shirt. You met Cherie recently? Oh, nice, man. Nice, dude. I have never met her in person, but you can go to my other YouTube channel, The Church of Rock, all one word, and you can find my interview with Cherie Curie and also my interview with Lita Ford. Yep. Matter of fact, dude, I've interviewed hundreds and hundreds of people on that channel, and I kind of forget sometimes how many. Yeah, Rodney Bingenheimer was hanging out with a lot of teenagers back in the day at that disco that he owned and stuff, and he hung out with a lot of the same types. I mean, it wouldn't shock me, but I'm not judging, and I don't know the story. Yeah, I know Cherie does chainsaw art. I'm very familiar because I interviewed her, and she talked all about that stuff. Plus, my daughter Audrey actually got to go to Cherie Curie's house last year. Yep, long story, but she went to her house. Let's see what time. 1:40. Actually, I'm getting close to 2 hours. Oh my Lord. You know, I haven't eaten anything today, and I wonder why I'm so thin now. I'm an idiot. I need to eat better. Come feed me. Let's see. Rodney on the Rock every Sunday. Well, I do Church of Rock every Sunday. So yeah, I'm going to let you guys know some information. Then I'm probably going to cut out of here. I'm on the radio every Sunday night, and you can listen live on the internet, guys. This Sunday, for instance, if you want to write this down or look back later, I'm on KSKQ Radio with Sister Tracy. She's the co-host, co-producer. We are on the radio every Sunday now for 24 years. We've been on 8 different radio stations since 1999 right now, and we have been on this channel for about a decade. KSKQ, and here's how you find it. www.kskq.org. That's it. You go there and you click listen live or listen now, and that's it, man. And if you can't do that, well, I don't know how to tell you any easier. There's also a thing called TuneIn. It's an app called TuneIn. You get the app on your phone. It's free. And then you can type in KSKQ and boom, it pops right up live. So Sunday night at 6 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Mountain time, 8 p.m. Central time, 9 p.m. Eastern time. I would love it if you guys would tune into my radio show this Sunday. I'm interviewing the guitar player for the band Autopsy, Danny Corrales. However, I'm going to tell you right now, that interview is 15 minutes long, but I'm only playing 9 minutes, 9.5 minutes on the show. Why? Well, I love Danny and I love Autopsy, but I have to ask my guests not to use cuss words because we have rules according to the Federal Communications Commission known as the FCC. And you know what? We can get big fines for that stuff. So Danny, unfortunately, even though we started the interview over, he cussed it like 12 or 15 times. And I don't mean damn or crap. I'm talking the F-bomb. So I can't play the interview and I'm not going to edit it because it just sounds stupid. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to air it up till 9.5 minutes, cut it off, and then I'm going to put the entire unedited interview on my Bloody F Mess YouTube channel that you're at right now. No, I'm kidding. I'm going to put it on the Church of Rock channel. So you've got to go to that channel to hear all my rock interviews with people. The Church of Rock, all one word. Please subscribe there. Please subscribe here. I'm getting ready to go ahead and take off, guys. Cherie was at a party a few weeks ago and sang a few. That's awesome. Yeah, send me a link. Church of Rock is the ultimate radio show. Thanks, Karen. I want to thank you guys. I'm going to sign off. It's been a fun Friday night hanging out. I want to go ahead and split because I need to eat. And don't you worry about me. I'm doing just fine. I just need to start being more conscious and mindful. Mindful. Like my friend Brenda is taking a mindfulness class right now. And I envy her because that's something that everybody should learn how to do is be mindful. Because our actions and words affect everybody. And negativity is like a disease. It affects those around us. The same could be said of positivity. So when we're mindful, we lose less friends and we have a more harmonious existence. Thank you. Please hit that like button right now if you would. Please hit the thumbs up button, guys. Please leave a comment for me if you want. And Please share this video or any of my videos so I can get more subscribers. I love you guys. You're like my rock and roll family. I have met so many freaking cool friends through this channel that I can't thank you enough. And the heartfelt love that I get is really a mind-blowing. You know, the first couple months doing the channel, there was a lot of haters and they stopped. I haven't gotten any negativity, and I'm so grateful, man, because I don't fire back. That's probably why it stopped. I do not entertain it, man. If I get it, bye-bye, zap, delete, block, later. I do not entertain people that are negative or hateful towards me, but there's been so much love coming at me that I'm just grateful. Have a great weekend, my friends. Thank you for the love. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. Please stay young, stay free. Contact me if you're a rock band and you want to do a little tour. And Bloody F Mess official signing off. And this is always the funny part. I never know how to sign off. Okay, I'm going to remember this time. It can't be that hard. Okay, I'm going to go to this little buttons right here and see what it says. Give me an option to sign out, guys. It's weird, you guys. Every time I do this stuff, I'm always like, how do I sign out? Whoa, I'm upside down. Hi, I'm upside down. You would think I was still drinking, but I'm not. I'm sober. Except for that herb. But that's not, you know, whatever. Okay, last comments. Your stories are amazing. Thank you for sharing. Willie, thank you, man. James, thank you. You stay cool, man. Thank you to everyone that came tonight. I'm trying to figure out how to get out of here, dude. Dude, man, why is it such a trip to get out of here? I gotta learn. I've got to learn. Are you sure you want to stop streaming? Yes. Much love, rock and roll. And, well, thanks again. Have a great weekend.